Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. So this reading today, we are looking at what's coming up next for you in love. You may be in a relationship, you might not be. You might be looking for love, you might be in a long-term relationship, you might have someone new in your life, doesn't matter. This reading is looking at what's coming up next. So I've got 3 readings for you, 3 cards. Group 1, reading 1, your card is number 17, Miss Sunshine, and I'll hold that up for you so you can take a look. Group 2 is card number 34, Abracadabra. And group 3, your card is number 32, Touch the Sky. Touch the Sky. All right, so all you have to do now is go down into the description box, click on the timestamp for the group you want to watch, and it'll take you straight there. All right, thanks, y'all. Hey, group 1. All right, we're going to take a look at what's coming up for you next in love. Okay, so your first card, the card that you picked, is number 17, Miss Sunshine. All right, give me just a second. I just want to hear what Spirit wants to say about this card and how it relates to what's coming up for you in love. So bear with me. They're telling me, the first thing they're telling me is that you're beginning to see a side to things related to your love, relationships, that previously you hadn't either been aware of or just weren't seeing. And it's a positive, it's like a positive development. It's not so much that you were missing something. It weirdly, it's about you've become more aware of what you want in love, what you may or may not be getting when it comes to love, relationships, what's important to you. You're starting to see what's real and what matters, which is interesting. And they're pointing out on this card, you know, if you flip it over, we've got darkness down here, and there's nothing, it's beautiful darkness, but things aren't quite as clear. But when you flip it over, Miss Sunshine is in the bright light of the sun, and she can see everything, and she's rising up above. So she can see things from a higher perspective and from a clearer vantage point. So that's what they're giving me as far as just an initial place to start there. All right, so let's get some tarot cards down for you. See what else they want to tell you. What's coming up for you in love? Your first card is the Magician. And they're giving me, you know, as I'm shuffling, they're talking about how previously in the past, whether that's recent past or further back, you can judge that for yourself. But in the past, you had certain expectations or certain standards, certain things that you felt were important in a partner, in a love relationship, in a person. And some of those things have changed recently. Your eyes have opened to the fact that some things that you thought were important aren't so much. And some things that you didn't realize were important are proving to be more important than others. So it's like your thoughts about love are evolving in a positive way. All right, your next card is the Queen of Swords reversed. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. And one more as an advice card. And the advice card is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. All right. Well, give me just a second now, and I'm going to take these cards in, and I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit. And then we'll talk through these cards and the advice for you on what's coming up next for you in love. Okay. So hold on one sec, y'all, while I listen. They're telling me that you're going to further awaken to what you want in love and to what you need when it comes to a love relationship. It's like your eyes suddenly become very wide open. And you're not misaligned anymore. Not to say that what you were thinking before was incorrect. But they're telling me that there were some judgment patterns, some things from the past that were sort of latching on to your opinions, your thoughts about what you want in love that didn't need to be there. Hold on one second. Yeah, they're saying that you're beginning to see that there's more to love than what you believed before. You may have been a little bit pessimistic about love in the past, in relationships, or you may have been either hard on yourself or hard on others when it comes to love. Maybe you were, your expectations were, they just keep giving me that your expectations were out of line with what your values really are. And now you're in alignment and you're moving into a place of being open and ready for true, genuine love. That the kind of love that can't be broken, right? Because it's real and it's not based on false misconceptions or judgments based on past experiences. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the cards. The first card, beautiful place to start, is the Magician. And what they're telling me is that you are now manifesting the love relationship that you didn't know you've always wanted until recently. This relationship that you are manifesting, and so I'm taking it that those of you that are here are looking for love, open to love coming in. If you're in a relationship already, then something is you know, as people do. People transform, couples transform. So there could be some transformation here, but they're telling me that you are manifesting the love relationship you didn't know that you always needed. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's interesting because in the past you thought you knew what you wanted, and you have criticized yourself in the past for choosing, I'm going to use, this isn't the right word to use, but choosing wrong, right? Choosing incorrectly. You didn't choose incorrectly. You needed to learn. It was an experience. But what they're giving me is you've kind of criticized yourself for what you thought was making the wrong choice in relationships, in people. And you kind of built up this attitude of never again. I'm never doing XYZ again, or this kind of person, or I'm not going to be with someone unless XYZ, whatever it may be, right? Whatever things triggered you in the past, it has latched onto you, and it was hard to shake. But they're telling me you've shaken those things. And you're realizing now it wasn't that you chose incorrectly in the past. It wasn't that you attracted the wrong people or that you in any way did anything wrong. You needed to learn through experience what love really looks like, which is interesting. And you're doing that, And starting off here with the Major Arcana card, especially the Magician, who is such a manifester. And if you notice above his head, we have the infinity sign. What you're manifesting isn't a fling, right? It isn't short term. It isn't a flash in the pan. This is a soulmate you're manifesting, that you're drawing toward yourself, or that you are transforming. If you're in an existing relationship, you may be with a soulmate, but maybe the two of you haven't quite appreciated what you had to offer or what you did offer in the past. And that is changing. That's changing. And they're saying it's changing due to your own will, your own desires, your own openness to becoming who you're meant to become as a person and within a couple. So it isn't being handed to you. You've kind of learned this the hard way. And they're really giving me this message of learning what love really is after having experienced in some way what love isn't, or shouldn't be, or wasn't. Okay? So that's beautiful. You're bringing it in. You are bringing someone in, or the transformation within your relationship that really will kind of change things in a positive way for good. This person you're bringing in is really brilliant for you. It's the right connection. Okay. All right, so then we have the Queen of Swords reversed. Just a second, I just want to hear what they want to say about this card. They're telling me that you've stopped talking about what you don't want, which is great. And if you haven't, if you're still doing that, then you will. You're going to start realizing that talking about what you don't want in a person doesn't help you manifest what you do want. It just sort of keeps your energy focused on what you don't want. It's like if you say, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to not notice, right, any yellow cars. I'm going to notice everything except the yellow cars because I don't want to see any yellow cars. Guess what? You're going to start seeing a bunch of yellow cars. So they're telling me that this is what's coming up for you. You're going to start speaking to yourself about what you want rather than what you do not want. You're going to start being more honest, coming from a place of love instead of criticism of yourself, of relationships, of others. It's a place of more heart-centered emotion rather than, I feel like in the past, it may have been a situation where you would cut off relationships very, very quickly, maybe go on one date or 2 dates or whatever it may be, because they didn't match your criteria in some way. And it's because you've been in bad situations in the past, right? And you were not opening yourself up to that again. And in a lot of ways, that's really good and healthy. But you've since evolved, right? And you're now understanding it's not about what you don't want, it's about what you do want. And when you focus on all the things you do want from a person, from a relationship, those things expand to the point where the things you don't want don't matter. And so you start to come from a more heart-centered place, and the person you're bringing in is going to see more of the love side of you rather than the cut and dry, black and white, critical side of you. All right, so then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, they're telling me that, yes, you're bringing someone in. It is going to be or will become, if you're in a relationship already that is meant to last but transform, it is going to be magnificent, they're telling me. It will last long. It will prove to be fruitful and abundant and have all the qualities that bring, it's like what they're giving me is like the spiritual side of love, right? The heart-centered side of love and the practical side of love together. Sorry about that. Okay, give me just a second. They're just wanting to tell me something, so bear with me. Okay, what they're telling me here with this Queen of Pentacles card also is you're heading into a place where you understand your own worth. You know your value. There's no insecurities or fewer insecurities when it comes to yourself, right? And insecurities can hold us back in a relationship because if we don't think we're good enough, we sort of give off that same energy to the other person. And it's hard for us to accept that they do think we're good enough when we don't think we are good enough ourselves. But that is changing in you. And it will change your love life as a result. Your view of you, and there is that saying you can't love someone else until they love themselves. I don't believe in that phrase, but I do believe that when we love ourselves fully and accept ourselves fully, flaws and all, the person or people in our life can show that their love to us and we are more readily able to accept it. It's not that other people don't love us unconditionally or fully. It's that we have a hard time accepting it and taking it in and believing it because we're too busy criticizing ourselves. It's hard to believe someone can love something about us that we don't love about ourselves. And you're moving into a place where you are comfortable in your own skin, you're comfortable in your own worth, you're comfortable in your own life, and it makes the love relationship that you're in or that you will be in, it will make it feel more real to you and more fulfilling to you because of it. Interesting. So there is someone coming in, trust that, but also keep moving forward with building yourself up. So the advice from Spirit is the Five of Pentacles reversed. They're telling me, first, believe that you can be in a proper, loving relationship. It doesn't mean it'll be perfect. It doesn't. Nothing's perfect. We're here to learn. We're here to experience different things. But the love that you share can override any difficulties if you allow it and if you're ready for it. But it starts with believing that it's possible. And also knowing that you don't have to be alone if you are alone now. You're just telling me something, so I just want to get it. Hold on one sec. Okay, the last thing they're telling me is that it's time to accept yourself for who you are, for how you live, your personality, your body, your lifestyle. To stop criticizing it, start loving it. And I know that's easy to say, difficult to do sometimes, because we're all critical of ourselves. But when you start to appreciate what makes you, you, what makes you unique, and it might be, some of the things that make you unique might be things that you really don't like about yourself. But you'll find if you start to accept and try to love those things too, you'll realize how many other people love those things about you as well. And your love relationship, the one that's either coming in or transforming, will be accepting and loving and appreciative of those things, the things you love about yourself and the things that you're working on loving about yourself. So Spirit is encouraging you to work on those things and to not be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. You are lovable. And you're actually perfect just the way you are. And I know those are hard words to swallow sometimes, because we don't want to believe it. But if you consider the people that you love in your life and how you accept them the way they are and love them the way they are, without picking them apart, picking out every flaw, saying I'll love you more when you do this, right? I'm sure you don't do that. But you do it to yourself. That's changing, but that's the advice from Spirit, is to start treating yourself like you're someone that you love. And then you'll find not that people love you more, or that suddenly people know how to love you. They already do. But that you're open to believing it and understanding it and knowing it. And that's when your relationship, either the one you have or the one that's coming in, really blossoms and becomes incredibly special. Incredibly special. All right. Thank you, Group 1. I hope that helps. I hope it gives you what you needed. If the reading resonated, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up or drop me a comment, like, subscribe, share, whatever you feel called to do. I appreciate all of it. It helps me know our energies are connecting, which helps future readings. And it also helps the channel. It helps other people find videos and readings and get messages that they're meant to receive as well. So thank you. I'm forever grateful, and have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, Group 2. All right, we're going to take a look at your love life and what is coming up next for you. So your first card, the card that you picked, is card number 34, and it's Abracadabra. Now give me just a second. I just want to hear what Spirit wants to tell you about this card, so bear with me one sec. They're telling me that you're getting ready for some change. A change in your love life in some way. They're not telling me what way yet. It's like a transformation, or it's a change. There's a change happening. So if you're single, you may find someone. You may be in a relationship. It feels like something happens quickly. They're kind of showing me like a magic trick, with the word abracadabra. They're showing me a magic trick where you have one thing 1 minute, and then poof, you have something better, like almost instantly. And there's this change that's happening. It doesn't necessarily mean, so if you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean that you're suddenly going to not be in a relationship. It could mean that. But it might just mean that, they're saying changes can happen overnight, not just in situations, but within people. So just try to think about that. So for some of you, it will be a situation that changes in what feels like very fast time, like overnight. Not literally overnight, but very fast time. Those are the words they're giving me. Your situation will change, or you and or the person you're with will change in a significant way, positive way. Let me see if they have anything else they want to say about this card. Okay, they're talking about, and they're pointing out, I don't know if you can see on this card, but she's sort of pointing at the constellations, and they were just talking to me about the movement of Jupiter into Gemini. Now, this will be relevant specifically for people who are watching it, when I post this video, 2024 to early-ish 2025. But regardless of the actual placement of the planet, if you find this video much later, don't worry, it still applies. They're talking about what it feels like for Jupiter to be in the sign of Gemini. And it's expansive, it's communicative, and it shows you options. Gemini is the sign of duality, of sometimes polarity and duality, options. And of course, Jupiter expands everything, expands. They're saying you're going to start noticing options or opportunities around you, whether that's for meeting someone new, or they're also giving me, if you're in a relationship now, it's like you suddenly start seeing options for creative ways to spice things up, to keep the passion up, keep the interest up. It's like you start seeing opportunities for living in love all around you. So if you're single, it's like you'll start meeting people, opportunities to meet people, and potential partners will show up. If you're with someone, it's not that you have a wandering eye and you're looking for someone else. If you are, then that's something you have to address yourself, of course. But what they're giving me is that if you're in a relationship and maybe it's feeling a bit stale, even if it isn't feeling a bit stale, it might be a little bit stale anyway. Or maybe it just hasn't quite gotten off the ground, but you'll start to see opportunities for ways to spice things up, to make them more exciting. And it changes things. Things start to change very, very quickly there in your love life. Okay? All right. Let's get some tarot cards, see what else they want to tell you. All right, your first card is the High Priestess. Okay. Then we have the Knight of Cups. We have the Seven of Wands. And one more is an advice card for you. And the advice card is the Five of Wands in reverse. Okay. All right, give me just a sec. I just want to take these cards in. I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk about what's going on here and what's coming up for you next in love. Hold on one second, y'all. They're talking about opportunity again. Opportunities for love, opportunities to enhance the love you have, and real opportunity to grow as a person, which is interesting because I didn't expect that to come in, but in a love reading, usually focuses more on the partnership or the relationship, but listen, I give what I get. they're telling me that you're starting to learn how to live a little bit more. So maybe you've been, maybe a bit of a hermit, or someone who's kind of gotten in a rut. Maybe as in your relationship, you've gotten into a bit of a rut, or your partner has gotten into a bit of a rut where it's like you do things because it's easy, because it's what you always do, because it's comfortable, but it doesn't bring you a lot of joy. It doesn't bring you a lot of happiness. It doesn't make you feel like you're living. It doesn't give you a lot of life, right? That's changing. Boom. They're just saying it's changing. You're going to start to see life in a new way, and you have this desire. If it's not there yet, it is building up in you, and it will be there. This desire to live out loud, to live brightly, to live in a magical way. And this changes your love life. It changes your life. It changes who it changes you in a way. But it also changes your love life. And that's what's coming for you. Okay? All right, so let's get a little more detail here. So your first card is the High Priestess. Okay, the first thing they're pointing out on here is that this is card number 2, and the way it's written with the 2 ones, right? Where it looks like an 11, it's not. They're giving me divine counterpart. 2 equals, right? 2 equals coming together. They may be different, right? Just like the 2 pillars behind her, they're polar opposites. They're different, but they complement each other. Now, you may already have this person in your life, but maybe again, things have gotten a little bit stale. Or if you're looking for someone, you're going to find someone who matches this description in some way. But it comes about when you start to embrace life, right? That's sort of the tipping point for you in love, is embracing life, in or out of a relationship. They're telling me that it's like there's this inner knowing in you, this inner power growing in you, that is telling you that this is true, that this is something you need and something you want. And it's a powerful energy. This is a really powerful energy to start your reading off with. And they're saying it speaks to who you are, because you are open to signs from the universe. You're open to your intuition. You're open to kind of listening to your heart and to your spirit. Whether you call it those words or not, doesn't matter. You have an awareness of yourself that not everyone has, and you tend to know or quickly learn what your body, what your spirit needs. And you're learning now that this is what you need. You need to live out loud a little bit more. Have a little more fun. Play more. Enjoy more. Try new things. Be curious. Be adventurous. Be experimental. Right? Okay. All right. So next we have the Knight of Cups. They're saying this attitude, this change in you, this willingness to try new things, right? Whether it's, get out there and date different people, which you will find, if you're single, you're going to find someone new. It could even be someone, like you may do some dating before you find the one, but that's part of the process, right? When you get out there and play, that's when you'll find them. You're going to find this person when you're out there living your life. Even, listen, if you're living your life solo, if you're on your own, you could still get out there and do things. I know that scares some people. They don't like that. They don't like to do things on their own. Of course, you have to be safe about it. I would never advise you do something that's not safe, but I live my life solo, and I can tell you it's very, very empowering to go out and travel, to go to entertainment, to go to events on your own and allow yourself to meet people, or just to enjoy your own company. It's very, very empowering.
and strangely addictive. But when you do get out there and start living, whether this is solo or with your existing partner, you're going to find that love comes in or changes for the better. That's where you'll find them. And what they're telling me is, for those of you that are single, you're out there living, you're doing things, you're going places, trying new things. Just by doing that, the energy that you create within yourself is what will start attracting a person or people to you. In other words, you don't have to go chasing after anybody. Just have fun, just do your thing, enjoy life, and the person you're meant to meet will find you, will find their way to you. Same with if you're in a relationship, by shaking things up, by doing things differently, by allowing yourself to just add a little magic back into your relationship, you will see the other person start to change and evolve, be more open and more receptive than maybe you think they're even capable of, which is interesting. Okay, so then we have the Seven of Wands. And let me just hear what they want to say about this. Okay, for those of you that are single, the first thing they're telling me is that you're going to have your pick of suitors, right? It won't be just one option. You'll have the opportunity to meet several different people, to have fun getting to know different people. And it's like it feels like this is something you've been waiting for. This is something you've been waiting for. You may be wanting or waiting for the love of your life to show up, but you'll find it through, what are you saying? Hold on. Through chance opportunity and by trying different things on. Like trying different, they're giving me the analogy of trying on clothes. You may think you know what you like, and you may be waiting, you might be wanting that perfect outfit, but until you try them on, you don't know. And you might be surprised when you try something on that you didn't think would fit and look amazing on you, and it does. So they're giving me this message of, for those of you that are single, there will be opportunities for you to try on different people, different types of people. For those of you in a relationship, they're telling me that first, that the distractions will lessen, that you will become closer as a result, that you'll have more fun. And I know that isn't really what the Seven of Wands means, but y'all, the cards are just a tool. I hear them, I see them, I read them intuitively. So what they're showing me is these wands as distractions, and the two of you are able to be off the distractions and show each other that you are the most important person to that person, that you are important to each other. It's like all the other things that may be getting in the way right now, pulling attention from your connection, will start to go away. And the two of you will both become more focused on what you bring to the relationship, what you care and love about each other, and what you have, which is really wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so let's look at the advice. And they're just coming back to this message of magic. It really is a magical, magical time where things can change like overnight, it feels like. Just by embracing life and opportunities a little bit more. Okay? All right, so the advice from Spirit, 5 of Wands reversed. They're saying don't fight this feeling, right? You've got this. If this reading is for you, there's something in your gut that's going, yeah, I know that's right. But There may also be something in you that says, oh, that feels like a lot of work. Or, oh, I don't want to. Or, oh, that makes me nervous. Or, I don't know if I want to, if I have it in me to do things by myself or to try new things. They're saying, don't fight it. Don't fight it. It's all fun, right? What you think feels intimidating they're saying that's nonsense. It's not to dismiss your feelings, but when you get there, when you're doing these things, you're going to go, man, this is great. I'm so glad I did this, right? 9 times out of 10, you'll be happy that you put yourself out there, that you let yourself live, a little bit more. So don't fight it. Don't fight the advice. Don't fight this feeling of changing things up, right? Shaking things up, trying new things, being curious and playful. Let me see what else they want to say. Hold on. Okay, they're saying, I'm going to tell you what they're saying first, then I'm going to try to figure out what they mean by it. But they're saying this is not a competition. Oh, okay. So if you're in a current relationship, especially if you've been in this relationship a while, things can get stagnant. Things can get, the honeymoon phase is kind of over. And you're wanting to spice things up, liven things up. They're just saying, remember, this is not a competition. You're not out to show your person up or see who can come up with a better date night or, oh, I did more for you than you did for me. It's not a competition. It's about enjoying life a little bit more. And same for the people who are single. It's not about proving what you can do and how much you're doing it. It's just about enjoying yourself. And I know the temptation when we're doing new things is, oh, I want to get the perfect photo. Oh, I want to do this because it'll look great on social. I don't know, maybe you guys aren't like that, but I'm sometimes like that. That's the truth. Sometimes we live just vicariously through other people's social posts. But they're wanting to remind you, it's not a competition. Don't try to do things just because someone else will think it looks cool or looks interesting. Have fun. It's okay if you take pictures and put on social and tell the whole world, like, this was amazing. But what Spirit wants you to do is to make sure you have an amazing time, that you play, that you have fun, that you put yourself out there and just enjoy yourself, first and foremost. And if you forget to take any photos of it, so be it. Because this is about changing your life and changing your love life and your attitude and your behaviors and your experiences going forward. So it's bigger than what it appears on the surface. So they're just encouraging you to embrace it. Absolutely embrace it and have fun and enjoy it. All right, group 2, I hope that helps. I hope it kind of gives you a little bit of a nudge toward, what your spirit is saying you need, and that's the truth. So if the reading resonated, of course, I hope you'll like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever you feel called to do, all of the above, if you feel that. It really helps me connect energies. It helps me know our energies are connecting, which helps future readings as well, so that they're even more accurate for you on a personal level. Also, it helps the channel, so more people can find readings and get the messages they're meant to hear. So I'm grateful for all of it. I'm grateful for you being here, and I hope you have a great day. All right, bye-bye, y'all. Hey, group 3. All right, today we're looking at your love life, what's coming up next for you in love. So the card that you picked, your first card, is card number 32, and it says, Touch the Sky. All right, give me just a second. I just want to hear what Spirit wants to tell you about this card before we get into your reading. Hold on. They're telling me that you are coming to a time in your love life, or even in your life in general, where things start to feel a little more calm. Things may quiet down in a positive way. If you've had some chaos in your life, some disruption, some upheaval, something that interrupts your flow of life or within your relationship if you're in one now, or interrupts your ability to meet someone new, you're going to find the pace, the speed of life around you, your life, starts to slow down. It may come to a standstill a little bit in a good way. It's like everything gets a little bit quieter, a little bit softer, a little bit easier. And this helps open the door to something special love-wise. I don't know what yet. They're not quite giving me where love comes in, but they are showing me that things feel easier in this time ahead. They're giving me this lovely feeling that I didn't feel in the other two readings, this lovely feeling of being able to breathe deeply, of relaxing, of being able to think and kind of just feel my own spirit, right? That's what's coming for you. Maybe you're already starting to touch in on that now, but if not, it's coming for you very soon. It's a helpful time, they're saying. It's a helpful time. Okay? All right, let's get some more cards down. Let's see what else Spirit wants to tell you about what's coming up next for you in love. Now, they're wanting to clarify, if you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean that this person's going to go away and that, it's like all of a sudden your love life goes quiet. They're saying your life gets quiet. Things will become a little bit more still in a good way so that connections can grow in a positive. It's almost like what they're giving me is they're showing me like an incubator, something that grows in a controlled environment without too many distractions from the outside or too much disruption that is interrupting the growth. So whether you're in a relationship or you're looking for one, I hope that makes sense for you. If not, try one of the other readings. But this idea of things becoming a little more still, a little more comfortable, should feel good to you, because it feels very, very good to me, what they're giving me. So the idea of it, something about it should feel right to you if this is your reading. It doesn't mean that you know how it will happen. Just the idea of it feels good, okay? You don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. Okay. All right, your first card is the Ace of Wands in reverse. Then we have the Ten of Wands. Okay. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. And one more is your advice card from Spirit. Oh, okay. And it's the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, give me just a second. I just want to take these cards in. I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk about what's going on here, okay? So bear with me. Just give me 1 second while I listen, y'all. The first thing they're saying is that peace can be transforming. There might be a part of you that doesn't necessarily love the idea of your life getting quieter. It should feel, in some way, there a part of you, it should feel good. But maybe part of you is thinking, yeah, but I'd like to stay busy, or I'd like to get out there and do things. You'll still be able to go out and do things, they said. It's not about limiting your activity, but it's more about quieting the distractions that you don't need in your life right now. and you don't need in love right now. What else? They're saying this time is going to help you become more resilient so that down the road, whatever you build up during this time within yourself, within a relationship, you and the relationship will become more resilient to the distractions, to the changes that could come, will come, inevitably will come later. This is a time for you to connect with yourself and with each other if you're in a relationship. Let me just listen specifically if you're not in a relationship and you're looking. Hold on. Okay, if you're not in a relationship and you're looking, the first thing they're saying is you're going to start connecting with yourself more. You're going to give yourself more time to be, to think, allow yourself to be more still within yourself. Doesn't mean you're not leaving the house, right? Because if you don't leave the house, you're not going to meet anybody. But the distractions will become fainter. That's the word they're giving me, more faint. They'll start to disappear so that you can focus on yourself and what you want in your life. And if you want a person in your life, if and when you're ready for that, this quiet time will allow you the opportunity to help make that happen. Okay? But first, connect with yourself. Connect with yourself. Allow yourself to just shake off whatever has been going on that feels very distracting, just feels very jumbled in some way. As those things start to quiet, you'll get the ability to think and feel more within yourself, and you'll be able to decide for yourself, you know what, yeah, I am ready to meet someone. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna, do some things and meet some people, join some groups. I'm getting groups, classes, events that you can purposefully go to. It does feel like you start to make more purposeful decisions about what you want to do rather than just being busy for the sake of being busy. And when you allow yourself to do that, if you're looking for love, if you find that that's what you want, you'll get there. That's the path for you. Okay? All right. So your first card is the Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay, this isn't the time for new challenges, brilliant new ideas, taking on new projects, taking on new routines, going on new adventures or vacations. There's a time and a place for all of those things. And you may do those things after this period is over, but there is a period of time that's coming for you where it's less about the new things, taking on new ideas, projects, this, that, and just being with what you have. It's not that the fire goes out at all. It's that you start to stoke the fire you have rather than looking for new flames. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay? All right. Your next card is the Ten of Wands. Okay. They're giving me a slightly different but not wrong interpretation of this card. And they're referring to a harvest and harvesting the things you have in your life, right? Like that's what this person has done. They've harvested their wheat or whatever it may be, their lumber, collected it so that they can then set it down, right? There's this pause, like it, and I don't know farming very well or even gardening, but they're giving me this pause between, you're growing and you're growing something, your crop, you harvest it, You do what you do with it, sell it, whatever. And then there's this time of quiet before, like winter, before you start to grow again. And that's kind of what's coming, is this time of harvesting and appreciating and growing what you have, rather than something new. Okay, now just a second. I know they want me to listen, so I want to listen to a message they want to say. They're telling me this is going to be a time that is far easier than what it has been. And I know the Ten of Wands typically means, burdens, hardship. But again, they're giving me this, the interpretation of gathering the harvest and being still. And just appreciating the fruits of your labor. So, let's put that in real terms instead of such symbolic terms. If you're in a relationship, you may find the distractions, the things in your life, and for all of you it'll be something different. The things in your life and in their life, things just start to quiet down for whatever reason. They get a little bit more still. They get a little bit more calm. And it allows you the chance, the opportunity to connect with each other and appreciate each other a little bit more, to grow closer to each other, to allow the flame that you do have to burn a little bit brighter. If you're single and looking, again, it's this time of going within, of putting the burdens down, of appreciating what you have in your life, first of all, before you go looking for something else. And when the time is right, this quiet in your spirit, this quiet calmness in your soul, will allow you, number one, to know what you want in a person, and will help you to find ways to get out there and meet them. It feels like a very calm process, right? I gotta be real, when it comes to meeting someone new, it does feel like there's some inner work that you need to go through first. Some inner quieting that you need to experience. It's like you need to experience conquering solitude is the phrase I like to use. Being with yourself in the quiet and the stillness, and appreciating your own company, so that when someone else comes into your life, they aren't making up for something that you don't have. They're not filling in any holes or any blanks. They're complementing your harvest, right? They're complementing what you already have. All right, so your next card is the Queen of Swords in reverse. Just listen for a second. The Queen of Swords, they're giving me, the Queen of Swords, when she's upright, believes everything is very black and white. She's very mind-focused. She is very busy. She has a very busy mind. She's very accountable, right? And if something doesn't work, she doesn't like something, she cuts it, moves on to something else. It's a very cut and dry attitude from the Queen of Swords. But in reverse, she starts to go within a little bit and starts to listen to the voice of her soul a little bit more. She's a little bit less quick to cut and move on. She's a little bit less quick to judge or to criticize, or even just to be busy for the sake of being busy. Her mind doesn't need to be going 1,000 miles an hour. She's going within and she's reflecting, considering, thinking about what she wants in her life. And if you're in a connection, this opens you up to better communication, And, you know, the Queen of Swords, she's a very good communicator, but she tends to dominate the conversation. That's what I'm getting. She tends to dominate the conversation, where when she's in reverse, it's a little more balanced. There's a little more give and take between you and your partner. And that helps the relationship because your person starts to feel heard. And I'm not saying they don't feel heard right now, but they are giving me this message of an equal balance. And maybe it's your person that is the one that does more talking than listening. It could go either way. But you're coming to a time when there will be more balance in your connection, which helps each other. You both start to feel more secure in your connection, within yourself. You start to understand the other person a little bit better. You start to appreciate them a little bit more. It gives you time, really, to get to know each other. Even if you've been together for years and years and years, it gives you a chance to reconnect and get to know each other on a different level, on a new level, in a new way. If you're by yourself, this will be, again, a quiet time. And it should be, and allow it to be. They're saying while you collect your resources, right? And just become a little bit more still within yourself, so that you are ready for this person when they come in. Because I do feel there is love on the horizon for those of you who are looking. It's not going to be right away. That's the truth. It's not going to be right away, unfortunately. Unless you've already been working through this process for a while, and maybe you have. Okay? All right, so the advice from Spirit is the Three of Wands in reverse. First thing they're saying is to let go of expectations. So all of this, may feel good, may feel right, and you're thinking, okay, this is what's gonna happen. They're saying, release that. This is a time for allowing. Anytime you say, okay, we're gonna have a quiet time, we're gonna connect, we're gonna talk more, we're gonna communicate more, things are gonna get better, we're gonna spend more time one-on-one, you're creating expectations, right? Which is, in essence, controlling the situation. Those things will happen more readily and without resistance if you just allow. Just allow it to happen on its own. You don't have to force your life to become calmer, quieter, more still. It will happen. Don't fight that, right? When it becomes quiet, you know now that it's a good thing. And just to enjoy it and allow it. It won't last forever, so enjoy it while it's there. And don't resist it. But also don't try to control it to the point where, say with your partner, you're forcing them to sit down and talk to you. Or, they may take a little longer to adapt to the stillness than you, because you've been pre-warned, right? That it's coming. So now you have a chance to ready yourself for it. They may need more time to adapt to that. They might not. They may. And if that's the case, don't force it. You just stay still and calm, and their energy will adapt to yours. It will. And they will get there. If they're the type of person who, is busy, it will change for them as well. But if you try to control and you try to make it happen, it's like the cords break somehow. It doesn't have the same effect, is what they're giving me. So try to release the expectations, release control, just allow, just be. Don't force anything. Don't wait for anything. Don't anticipate. Just accept what comes and surrender to it. Because what's coming is beautiful. It just may not look the way you are expecting, because you have been so busy and things have been really just, I'm just feeling like jumbled. It could be a bit chaotic, a lot of upheaval, a lot of things going on. Things have been so busy, you may not know what to expect from the stillness or how to get to a place of stillness. We're saying all you have to do is allow it to happen when it comes, and don't fight it when it arrives. And just be. The rest will take care of itself. All right, group 3, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you a little bit of insight into what's coming up next for you in love. If the reading resonated, I sure hope you'll give it a like, drop me a comment, share the video, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever you feel called to do. I'm grateful for it. First of all, it helps me know that our energies are connecting, which helps future readings resonate a little bit more for you. It also helps the channel, right? It helps the videos get out there somewhere people can find the readings and the messages they're meant to hear. And I'm grateful, and I'm sure their higher selves are grateful for that as well. So thank you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.